right, what's up, everyone? We're back. Sorry, some technical difficulties. We're hoping that we can get Ruben, Proven by Ruben, in. Like I said, if you haven't already listened to this week's episode of Investify, go check it out. Proven by Ruben drops some knowledge in there. He's one of the people that I look up to as a real estate agent, as a real estate investor. He does some crazy shit. No audio. What the fuck? There's no audio. I don't know why. Oh, you can hear me now? Okay, sweet. Can you guys hear me? All right, dope. All right, so what I was saying, I feel like Instagram is like the most awkward thing ever. Like, this first few minutes is always so awkward. All right, you guys can hear me. It's back. Dope. Okay. All right, sweet. Thanks, Colton. Anyway, so I had my boy Ruben on here. I think he's going to come and join. And basically, we had the last episode drop of Investify today. This dude, he is the man. He talks all about just investing in real estate. Some cool thing with a van where he's like renting out an RV. I don't know. That's something that he's more brave than me, because that's not something that I would do. And hopefully you can hear from himself. There he is. Ruben, my man.
What's up, dude?
Bro, some technical difficulties, but we got through it.
It's all good, man. We're here now. We're here now.
Just a bunch of boomers. Just a bunch of boomers hopping on and trying to figure out Instagram, huh?
We got it, though. We got it. We're good to go.
We got it, dude. All right, man. So, all right, bro, tell us what's been new since that episode dropped, man. It's been a couple months, so give us the latest update.
I'll say one of the coolest things, man. I got a message from someone who listened to the podcast, and it was longer, and they apologized. They're like, long post coming. It's all good. Just read it. And I started reading it, dude, and she was like, thank you so much for sharing your story. I've never heard a why so deep. And it brought me to tears at work.
Oh, man.
And I was like,
I love that.
What? Bro, I was like, that's crazy.
Why don't you reshare your why, just in case people have forgotten or if they didn't listen to the episode yet?
Yeah, no worries. I'll say for that, I did message her back, and I was just very appreciative. I've never heard that before. But I guess for anybody who's listening, it pays to be transparent and be authentic, you know? But my why, so, just a little while back, a little guy named Grant Cardone apparently had some type of event, some small little event during Super Bowl in Miami, Florida. And I went with the crew and the Five Pillars crew and all of them. And it was really cool. But I got chin checked by somebody in the audience. I was telling them, I was like, yeah, I got like 52 coaching clients and I'm blah, blah, blah. And he was like, okay, cool. What would happen if your plane went down on the way home? And I was like, well, I guess I would die. He was like, that's right. You would die. And what would happen to your family in terms of financially? And I was like, well, the money stops because it was so active, It was so active. I had to be at work in order to make a paycheck. And he was like, can you call yourself a father? And I was like,
ooh.
Shot to the heart.
Yeah.
And it hit me. It hit me where I needed it to be hit, though. And at that point, I was like, I got to focus on passive. And anytime we came across a property or there's a kitten walking by, it's super cute. I'm not a cat person, but this one looks pretty cute. I'm in a parking lot. In random Fayetteville parking lot. But it was huge, man, and I needed that. And it really made a huge difference anytime we came across a deal. Joining a partnership with EXP and really building the value for the team and all of that, and got super focused on passive, and we were able to hit goal within our first year. But that just shows that high intensity focus when you do have a powerful why that could damn near bring you to your knees.
I love that, dude. And so when you say goal, like what was that goal?
The goal, the first thing we did, so I sat down with Mike and Shelby, and we said, you know what, if we're going to really build this passive thing, what's our goal? And what we ended up figuring out was that we don't have to be millionaires in order to be financially free. One thing we need to do, Fayetteville, North Carolina, Cody, one thing I needed to do was cover expenses, monthly expenses out of my house through passive income. And that I could die. I could die, and at least the passive would take care of that, and hopefully my wife would mourn, right? And have the time to do that. So that was goal. It was around $2,000 a month at the time. Our expenses have gone a little bit higher, but at the time it was about $2,000 a month, and we hit goal first year.
Love that, man. Love that. And so what was that like to hit goal? Like what were you doing? Were you picking up rental properties? Were you saving, pinching pennies? Like tell us that process a little bit.
Yeah, it was two main things. Definitely investments in terms of real estate. We turned our long-term rentals into short-term rentals. I say long-term rentals. We had one long-term rental at the time, and we turned that one into a short-term rental, and we started purchasing other investment properties and turned them into short-term rentals. The second part of that was we really started building a better value proposition and support for our agents that have joined, us. And obviously that started to excel the passive income as well. But I could die and it still gets willed to my wife, right? And that was the goal. So how did I feel? It felt good for a second, man. And then the second part was like, it only took a year. If we focused on this, it only took a year. So what's my real potential?
Yeah.
And so we just shifted and was like, dude, we got a lot more potential. We got a lot more space in this tank that we could fill up. Yeah. And so it just shifted and we went straight back into passive and just got a little bit more aggressive with it.
For sure, man. So now where you at? Like, are you still just working on passive? Are you working on building out the team or more real estate?
Yeah.
Or?
So we watch those numbers right now. We're a little bit more calculated. We watch those numbers, and our top two performers were rev share was number one. So we do over 6 figures in rev share right now. And then real estate investments, which I think we did 60-ish last year. So, that's cool, but it's like, that took us 3 years. And there's obviously other things. We have an RV rental. What else? I don't know. We got a few other things that we watch, but those are our top two. And as long as you guys put focus on it and you build out a plan. What's up, Shane? Look, I was at Pints and Properties with Shane. Shane hosted me. So what's up, Shane?
Nice.
But yeah, anybody could do this. I'm telling you, it's sitting on you, man. And it's like, it's waiting to open up and really be exposed, but you have to have a why. Or, my wife said it best. She was like, you either have to have a passion for what you're leaning into, or you have your back against the wall. And that's really what's going to push you to move further, faster. I had zero passion for real estate, dude. It was just a way out. I didn't care. I've got a passion now, but in the beginning, it was more I had my back against the wall. And that was a big push to make those things happen. I hope I answered your question.
Yeah, no, dude, I love that, man. Jacob, thanks, man. You rock. And thank you for reading. Dude, you're kind of like what you're saying right now is kind of like hitting me, right? It's like we hit, I guess, goal, right, a little while ago. And now it's I come to work, I enjoy it, right? I love helping our agents out. I love helping people achieve financial independence, but I don't have that like killer instinct that I used to have. Like I don't have that drive. I still wake up early. Like it's just a habit, Before I felt like it was a fucking passion. It was a drive. I was like, there's no way I'm being stopped. But now I'm like, yeah, there's no way I'm being stopped, but I don't really know what I'm working towards, And so I think that's so key, man, is like digging out that why. And, at the time, like right now, I don't have kids, right? It's just me and my wife and we're fine, And so maybe like it takes a kid to be like, oh shoot, like I gotta start pushing this, right? Or, yeah, but I just think that's, so powerful.
Yeah. I'll say with the kid thing though, and for anybody else who has a kid, just hit heart and share this thing and that we'll know, if you got a kid, but I don't know, man. I'm indifferent, dude. I was there to cover expenses. That's it. At that point, the kid needs to kind of figure it out on their own. We will help. We will kind of mold, but sure as shit ain't giving them just handouts. It's not going to happen. You know what I mean? So yeah. The drive will be there, but just to cover expense. In my world, it's not to have them live a better life than I did. Screw that. I want the struggle. I want them to move, I want them to have that because I'm not going to rob. If anyone would have robbed it away from him, it would be me to build a life that I've never had. Absolutely. So, kids are there. They have like this special love, but in terms of the financial goals, just cover the bills. They really need to cut their teeth too, you know?
Yeah, no, I think that's what I meant, of course. Yeah, I think if you give your kid handouts, you're gonna prime him for failure or her for failure, right? Like you got to just teach them, guide them, mentor them, but don't give them really anything except a place to live and those expenses and a sports team to play on and all that. So it's just kind of like all these like other expenses I've never really thought about. I'm like, oh shit, I'm trying to sign up for like basketball here in Idaho, just a league. And I'm like, it's $600 for a league. Like shit, I don't even know if I want to do that anymore. Oh, just with my boys, you know?
Well, you can put some of your logos on them and write it off. You know, it could be a sponsorship thing.
Yeah, here, I'll get like custom made basketballs or something like that.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Cool. Well, hey, man, thanks so much for hopping on. If you guys haven't already, take a listen to Ruben's episode. Again, super inspiring. Literally, he made somebody cry, then made him cry, and maybe more people will be dropping tears on this one. But anything else you want to say, man, before we hop off? Looks like it's getting dark where you're at.
Yeah, it gets dark a little bit. I'm on my way to a meeting. That's why I'm like kind of got the collar tee on. But, and you know me, I'm like a t-shirt guy.
Yeah.
So this must be a decent type of meeting. But no, you know, I will say, yes, give it a listen. Would love a share, whatever. But, you know, if I could help you, if any of us two could help you find out what that why is, find out what the financial independence is, what that number is for you. Like, I don't want you to feel like you're in a corner by yourself. You got these two knuckleheads here, one with hair, one without hair, that will be here to help you out, man. You have to take that first step and just reach out. We have a profit powwow we do once a month, which is how do you increase profit without necessarily increasing units sold. We have that meeting once a month here. And some dude who's like working for somebody next door comes over and says, can I sit in on your classes? I heard you guys talk about business. Has nothing to do with real estate. But what did he do? He asked first, you know, and like back a while ago, I mean, years and years ago, I was talking to this millionaire here in Fayetteville, and I was not that. I had a broken down Crown Vic at the time. And I was like, why are you helping me? And he said, because you want to help yourself, right? More people will help you if you want to help yourself. So just raise your hand, ask us questions. Like, we really want to be here to help you. Now, if we do give you homework or something to do, commit to it, man. Commit to it. But other than that, yeah, that's all I want to say is just reach out. We're here to help. We truly are, but you have to make that step to move forward and reach out. Like, I posted a quote that said, opportunity doesn't go away. It just goes to the next person. So don't miss out on that opportunity.
Yeah, I love that, man. It's so true. Dude, you're dropping bombs here again. Like, even if it's not us, right, that you want as your mentor, if you have a mentor that you have in mind, ask them a question. Just start with a question. Right? And don't make it a long question. Just make it a short question. Then they might give you hey, yeah, read this book. And then you read that book, and a week later, at the absolute latest, you just say, hey, I just read this book. Thanks so much. And then if you show that you're leading in and you're motivated, those are my favorite people to help too. Like, I can't tell you how much effort I've had in trying to help people that didn't care, and that's just painful, right? So
yeah, there's a yes and no rule to everything. If you say yes to somebody that said they want it, right? There's a quote that says, "I can't hear you because your actions are too loud." They say they want it, but their actions just don't fit with that, right? It doesn't equate. Their video doesn't match their audio.
Yeah.
So then what do, right? You say yes to that person. No, you say no to that person and replace that person with a yes person, somebody who is taking action. Just like I'm saying yes to you and no to my family right now, right? There's a yes and no to everything there.
Yeah.
Nah, you know, we had that conversation. I told the wife that this was what's going to happen and all that, but that's a real thing. So if any of you commit to somebody and they pour into you, you have to swim to them just as much as they're swimming to you, or they will cut you off. They only want to pour into people who really want it. And the way that you're going to show that is through your action. Your action has to be louder than your words. But we've all heard this before, you know?
Sure, man. For sure, dude. Hey, man. Well, thanks so much for having on. Thanks so much for dropping more and more bombs. I feel like every time I talk to you, I get more motivated. So kudos to that. And dude,
same, man. Same.
Drive safe. Enjoy. Have fun in your meeting there. Tell your family I say hi, and we'll talk again soon.
Thanks, brother. I really appreciate it, man.
All right, man. We'll talk soon. Later, buddy.
See you, brother. Bye.